In this video, we're going to talk about Gunslinger Spawn's secret origin is being exposed. And I will break it down because I do recognize some differences between Spawn issue number 174 when Gunslinger Spawn first made its appearance and also in some of the Gunslinger Spawn issues, but this is a comic book review of Deadly Tales of the Gunslinger, brought to you by RatedComics. Let's get to it. And by the way, I did not mention this was the first issue. This is issue number 1. So before we get into the comic, I'm just going to give you a breakdown. Spawn issue number 174 is when Gunslinger Spawn first made his appearance. It was Jeremy Winston they called Old Job. His family was murdered and he made a deal with Mammon, became Gunslinger Spawn, and slaughtered the entire town of Bane for his revenge. And after that, we haven't heard nothing else. And then he made his appearance again, taking on a new host with Javier in Spawn issue 308 or 307 or something like that. And then we got started with Gunslinger Spawn 1 where the story took over from there. But also I noticed that in Gunslinger Spawn issues, in Gunslinger Spawn 13 and 14, they delve into the origins, how it came about, and there is some consistencies with that. You can check out the review of Gunslinger Spawn 13 and 14, and then it cuts off. This comic book picks up from there. So with all that being said, let's get right into this content right here. So we get this mystery figure telling this mystery guy with the red eyes, like, good, everyone's dead, it's requested, great, I got a new mission for you, but I need you to go right up the alley, right into this town, and I need you to see a man about a badge. And this guy's like, okay, good, because I hope it's a challenge, because this task you had me do burning this barn right here was beneath me. So in Gunnison, Colorado, this guy who maybe uses a disguise as Reverend Silas or whatnot, I'm gonna go with the disguise because you know he ain't no damn Reverend. So he asked this lady that he's looking for Sheriff Jones, and the lady's like, well, lucky for you, I happen to be his wife. And he's like, okay, well, I've been riding here almost all day, and even the most insignificant amount of water will be a blessing to me right now. She's like, where are my manners? Let me go inside, fix you some beans, fix you something to drink. He hasn't had company in a while. He asked her some small questions like, how'd you guys meet? Where are you from? I can tell your accent's from New Hampshire. They build rapport that way. So this is a building rapport kind of panel right here. So he tells her, well, if your husband's at work and you're here, it must be quite lonely being a lady like you up in this house. So she gets to ask him, what's your business with my husband? So he tells her, you know your husband has a man named Whitlock locked up, and I don't know his business, but that's who I'm here to see, so I want to talk to your husband about it. So she's like, okay, I ain't quite buying it, that's very vague. May I ask again, what is exactly your business with my husband, Reverend? Well, if I tell you, I'm gonna have to kill you. You still want to know? I can see him saying that as being charming and all. So she sits down, he looks at her, locks eyes contact with her, and not in the romance kind of way, just like in this eerie kind of way. He's like, look, I lied, I'm gonna kill you no matter what. And I'm sure he did. So we see Sheriff Jones saying goodbye to Pete. He's done for the day, rides his horse back home. It's dark, or it's getting dark, the lights are off. So he's like, Linda, baby, are you sleepy? Gone to sleep already, baby? You know we hungry. So he goes in the house, and that same gentleman, Reverend Silas or whatnot, is like, nah, you'll be joining her soon enough, and shoots him right then and there. Now those red eyes, I don't know who he is or what he's got to do with it. I want to say, is he Mammon? But who was the guy that asked him to do this? So this is a whole plan in order. He shoots Sheriff Jones, transforms into Sheriff Jones, digs up a grave for them both, walks into town, and this guy is like, oh, morning, Sheriff, hope you got some shot-eye, welcome back to work. No, Sheriff Jones disguised as whoever the original guy is, but that's a disguised Sheriff Jones right now, slits his throat and goes up to Whitlock. Whitlock is like, what is it, boy? I'm offering you a one-time deal. You get your freedom and a handsome fortune if you do exactly as I say. This a trick, says Whitlock? No trick. I know your men are stationed nearby. Connect with them, and if you follow my instructions to the letter, I'll reward you and your men handsomely. Half up front, you will collect the other half when you're done. I need you to handle a unique situation I have, and I need it done in a specific way. Don't you dare stray off with me, boy. And the guy's like, okay, being a minute ago, I was lined up to be hung today, so I'm in. Get paid or die. What would you do? So before we go any further, we start off with this monologue. And this is 1 month earlier, and this is a guy before he turned into Gunslinger Spawn. He knew the road ahead would be a tough one, but he was prepared. They told him it was hopeless, but he knew that was just the mantra of those too frightened to stay dedicated to their ambitions. He's seen his share of horrors in his young lifetime and understands all too well that the lesson that keeps coming back to him day after day is the simplest one of them all. Life is not fair. So from a distance, he sees a couple getting attacked and getting robbed. And they want the couple's money, and they're like, where's the rest of your money? And the husband's like, we told you, we gave you everything we have. Why won't you believe us? And the guy's like, when it comes to currency, everyone lies. There's only so much currency you can keep, and there's only so much currency you can have, and maybe they did give it all, but they don't know, and they ain't trying to hear all that. Well, they want more of it. But this is part of the plan. So this guy before Gunslinger comes in and shoots him dead on arrival. Not him, them. And he tells the husband and wife, go, don't look back. And the husband's like, how can we ever thank you for what you did for us? You listen to me, put all this behind you, and start a new life together. Oh, may God bless you. Then please take this. It will protect you. And she hands him the cross, and he's like, nah, thank you, but I protect myself. At least tell us your name, says the wife. Nobody. My name is Nobody. So in Gunnison, Colorado today, this guy, disguised as Sheriff Jones, tells the bartender, now, Jackson, do as I told you, and kick those 4 men out of the bar to the street. Don't worry, they won't give you no trouble. So they get out to the street. The guy's like, you letting them kick us out just like that? And Whitlock is like, I was getting bored. Besides, looks like there's something rosier outside. And this is the same couple that Nobody rescued earlier. And the guy's like, this is my wife. What are you doing? And this is my gun. Now what? I'm getting Sheriff Jones, says the guy. And keep in mind, Sheriff Jones is dead, but disguised. Not as Whitlock, as Sheriff Jones. I don't know who the guy is, but he's disguised as somebody. And Whitlock tells her, look, Sheriff's out of town. And the lady's like, man, she slaps her like, you better let go of me. And he slaps her back like, you need to control your wife. And the other guy shoots him right in the cheeks. And not in the cheeks we like to clap, in the cheeks that we don't want getting shot. And that's just, yeah, So the lady is like, stop it, let go of me. And then that Nobody's like, I believe the lady said let go of her. And now this panel right here plays out play for play in Gunslinger Spawn issue number 13 when you read that or when you watch the video and go through that. And this Nobody's like, where I come from, you never make a lady ask twice. And this is right after he throws that knife right at that guy's center of his forehead right there. And he throws 3 knives at Whitlock, but he's protected with the steel plate. And this guy is like, look, man tried to collect bounty on me for years. It's why I got the steel padding. Question is, how do I repay you? And decks him in the face. And the lady recognizes him. It's you, the stranger that saved us. Go, says the stranger, go. Get this woman away from here. I'll deal with this bunch. And you notice that Sheriff Jones right there taking away the woman as a disguise. This is an elaborate play, but for what are they doing it for? So these guys rang this brother right here. The beating was brutal. They stopped short of killing him. And they put him on the horse, and the guys are like, where are we taking him? And Whitlock's like, I don't know. This is just part of the plan. Who do you think he is, boss? I don't know. Just some nobody. Call back anyone? So they feed him some beans, feed him some food because they want to get his strength back. And Whitlock is like, look at me. I'm going to get a good look at you. And this guy, Nobody, is like, I'm going to kill you. Yeah, sure you are. You're looking better. Tomorrow we're going to do the thing. So at sunrise, they tie him up to the horse. And the guy is like, what is it that you want from me, says Nobody. And they're like, we don't know. We're just following orders, son. Nothing personal. Shoots his gun in the air, and this horse just drags his brother and just in pure mutilation. Keep in mind, this is very consistent with Gunslinger Spawn issue number 14. Now, this is where the story picks up, where Gunslinger Spawn issue number 14 cuts off. He knew he was dying. But the real pain, the pain that hurt more than any physical pain he could ever suffer through, was the cold understanding that he failed. He failed to find and save his sister way back when. It was this painful realization alone, some say, triggered the change. And he says his sister's name, Amy. When he awoke, hours later, things quickly went from bad to worse. I'm wondering if he was trying to save that lady as a way of trying to cover up from not being able to save his own sister. But that's just, I mean, that's probably stating the obvious, but we're just talking here. So the wolves ignore the horse as their focus is elsewhere. This guy. They stop and study him. Their body language going from attack to pacified in seconds. They sense something only an animal can. The curiosity peak. Keep in mind, Gunslinger Spawn can control the animals. The pain is unbearable as his senses are overtaken. His body convulses as he feels his skin being ripped apart all over his entire body. He screams in pain. This is exactly where we left off in Gunslinger Spawn issue number 14. Now take the story a little bit further. A second skin slashes through him as inkly back tendrils mesh with ravaged flesh. Horrific memories of his past race through him, one after the other, as he struggles with the pain. Events that have haunted him for years become razor clear as his body transforms. This new skin slowly takes shape, formed from the very darkness that didn't defeat him, a replacement skin that has now become part of his armor. And these birds, these crows, drop off his hat, a deliverance to a new destiny. One night later, he finds one of the brothers, and he's like, you know who I am? And you know why I'm here? Last chance. Where is Whitlock? And this brother's like, please, I was only doing what I was told. Please stop. I'll tell you what I know, and we're fair and square, please, right? And he's like, okay, Whitlock. And the guy's like, so we have a deal. I tell you where Whitlock is at, and you don't kill me? And Gunslinger Spawn's like, okay, fine. There's always a catch, though, but he's okay with it for right now. They're a few miles north in a cabin right past Corner Ridge. There's a hidden path right up to the place, horses shelter on the left up top. They got the girl up there, too, with them. You can't miss it. The girl, says Gunslinger? Yeah, the blonde you were protecting a day ago. I didn't lay a finger on her, I swear. Well, those fresh scratches on your face tell another story. Well, we had a deal. I told you where they were at, and you said you were not going to kill me. Man, Gunslinger Spawn's like, okay, I'm not. Shoots him right in his kneecaps. And you might as well just shoot him dead at that point, because that shit hurts. And Gunslinger's like, look, I'm not going to kill you, but they are. So he rides off into the distance. So in that cabin that the man was talking about, they're playing a game, entertaining the guests, and he's just like, look, how come Ronnie down over there, that's who Gunslinger Spawn just shot in the knees earlier, how come Ronnie down there gets to have all the fun? And how come I can't? I want to have some fun with her too. And Whitlock is like, look, mistreating the girl wasn't part of the plan. It wasn't part of the deal. Deal? What deal, Whitlock? We're getting paid a lot of money for kidnapping this girl? It's more complicated than that. I'll explain in detail once we're away from her. All you need to know for now is I made a deal with a man willing to pay us a small fortune, and I expect him any minute now. And Sheriff Jones, in disguise, comes up with these trained killers. And this man is like, yo, man, that's Sheriff Jones. Have you lost your damn mind? Shut up and stay inside, Pete. Evening, Sheriff. Whitlock, we all set? Yeah? We put the kid through the ringer just like you asked. One of my men went back into town and retrieved the woman he was protecting. Oh, forgive me. I thought it was Sheriff Jones in disguise that picked up the woman, not one of his men. But then again, hey, you know, your boy could be confusing sometimes, but now that we got that cleared up, let's go on with it. So he tells him, I'm just waiting on you for the last set of instructions. And Sheriff Jones is like, any problems? No, the girl need to learn some manners. And we corrected that. Now she's kicking good, and she's a good trail horse now. We put her in shape. And Sheriff Jones is like, good, but I don't know what that dot on his neck was about, or if it's a set of eyes, but he snaps the rat's necks and feeds it to his horse. And Whitlock is like, that boy will come back here and try to get his revenge, or save the girl, or both. It doesn't matter to me at that point. And Sheriff Jones is like, look, I want him dead this time, Whitlock. No more games, all right? Sure, but what about these men you brought? Professionals, they're my insurance that you do a proper job. And Whitlock is like, Sheriff, I don't get it. You're supposing that scrawny kid even survived? What if he never shows? Oh, he's on his way. That's all you need to know, says Sheriff Jones in disguise. Here's the balance of what I was promised. And as for the extra help, no slight to your skills intended. And Whitlock is like, none taken. You're paying me, so I'm cool. But if that kid shows up, he's as good as dead. That may be so, says Sheriff Jones, and those red eyes go off. But if I were your boots, I'll be prepared to dance with the devil tonight. Now, from the shadows of the gunslinger, he watched them from their distance. And he watched them make their way to his final destination. 8 skilled killers against 1. Deep down, he knows he has no chance, but his second skin is telling him different. He never understood that those seemingly random convulsions he felt and hid from every one of those so many years had a greater purpose. It's been a single day since it happened, since the life he once knew all but disappeared. Everything before his eyes seems to change like a lifetime ago. Waning recollections guided by raw emotions, satisfaction, anxiety, powerlessness, jubilance. And this is his flashback of him and his sister Amy when they were younger. And how those men ended Amy and he couldn't do nothing about it. And he was filled with terror and he felt helplessness. And then helpless no more. He had seen enough and clearly knew what was right and what was wrong. And God helped those who stood in the gunslinger's way as he approached that house. Now these men all go inside and one man's like, yo, y'all don't give a damn. Y'all could do your thing. You go out there and patrol, but I like this piece of meat right here. He's talking about the women. So these men go outside to patrol and this guy is like, that brother is depraved and I don't trust him with that girl. And the other guy's like, I won't even trust him leaving him alone with the pig right now. He's so down bad and thirsty right now. It's just nasty. So they start talking, so we figure the best positions when we patrol and how this guy's gonna approach us if he were supposed to kill us, right? So let's game plan. If you were him, how would you kill us? So they game plan, and they first realize while they're talking out in the distance, in the snow, they're like, well, if I were him, the way I would kill us is I will kill the two of us right now, silent and quickly and deadly, and then set the house on fire. That's what the one guy says. And he's like, that's not a bad idea, but why set the house on fire? That's risking, you know, the girl too, and he's trying to save her. And then he's like, okay, well, what do you propose? I think you should kill us in silence, and then go in there with the crack of the door on the front door, see, kind of scan the landscape a little bit, and then kill the rest of us, guns blazing, thinking that the element of surprise will take us by surprise. And you're like, ooh, that's good. But one thing they both agree on as Gunslinger emerges from the shadows is that they both need to die first. And the guy's like, yeah, it's funny how we both agreed on that, right? And Gunslinger Spawn is like, yep, I agree on that too. So he ends him right then and there, quickly and silently, and he goes to the crack of the door in the cabin, sees them out, and then goes in, guns blazing like a professional. And this guy has skills that he never had before. But all this girl could do is scream, and he shoots him quickly, ending them in quick fashion. So as his last guy is going up behind him like, die you son of a, he comes in with the quickness and shoots him right then and there. And the guy, Whitlock, asks him, who in the hell are you? Remember me? You? How is this possible? You can ask the devil, boy, and shoots him right then and there and ends him. Gunslinger looks around the room of dead men and pauses, trying to process the origin of his newfound proficiency. His body throbs in pain, yet he feels almost nothing. This change he is going through, choosing to ignore his own injuries and staying focused on the task at hand, has his mind races as he tries to grasp how he did all this himself. And then he remembers the girl, and he puts on a jacket on her and he tells her, put this on, you're coming with me. It's you, isn't it, says the girl. From when we were attacked with my husband with those bandits, and then again from those men who killed my husband in town, you're not gonna hurt me, are you? No, says Gunslinger, I didn't think so. Gets on the horse, they ride away. And as they're riding away, he stops, and she's wondering, why did you stop? Stay behind me, don't move. And that's that guy disguised as Sheriff Jones. Shoots, no questions asked, and his shot is so precise, it goes through Gunslinger Spawn's collar and into the girl's head. And Gunslinger Spawn is pissed. So this guy goes into his speech like, it's more fun when they get to thinking they've been saved and all is good in the world. It is natural to think saving her was a waste of time, but rest assured, it's not. We got plans for you, boy, but it may take some time and a whole lot of blood to get there. And Gunslinger Spawn is pissed like, yo, this is some elaborate plan just to get me all twisted and messed up. You got me messed up. Shoots him, and this guy is laughing, and Gunslinger Spawn's like, who the hell gets shot and laugh at the same time while getting shot? Rips in half. Come on, boy, let's see what you got, as we see a new transformation right there. And it's gonna be continued. That is the end of the deadly origins of Gunslinger Spawn. And yo, this is really good. Like, it picks up exactly where we left off at Gunslinger Spawn issue 14 to get more of an origin story and more of a kind of adventure. What happens here? A deadly adventure at that. And I don't know how many issues of the deadly origins of Gunslinger Spawn we got here, or the deadly tales of Gunslingers, but I'm digging this so far. So what you guys think of the comic book? Comment below, let me know. And also link in the description if you wish to add this comic book and or any of our other limited print rated comic exclusives to add to your comic book collection. Support the art, support the industry. With all that being said, thank you again for watching. Until the next upload.